last night. Yeah, over the weekend we had, well, first we knew that he had met. Anyway, and whenever we go to Costco, we always say, send them a text and say, okay, going to Costco, y'all need anything from Costco. Well, of course, he had given us a list a mile long, and she was going, I can't believe you still go, you go buy groceries for him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway,
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you.
You too.
Been a little while.
Yeah,
Did you have a good summer?
I did. How about you guys?
I did. Very busy and very productive.
Did y'all get to travel at all?
Oh, very little bit. Not enough. I'm not clamoring for a fall break. We're going to the beach.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
It's a good time for it.
I know. That we're doing it too. We're going.
Oh, really?
My in-laws have a condo.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna go we too.
We're at Florida, South Carolina, or?
Florida.
Yeah. That's where we're going.
Daytona Beach Shores is where they are. So south of Daytona.
Yeah.
So a little bit more residential.
Yeah.
Not quite as touristy.
Okay.
As we like.
Awesome.
My book room was locked, so I couldn't get the extras that we have, alias that you needed.
Yeah, you got
And I have one for you, yeah.
I think you get to.
Hey.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right. I think this will.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're going to come back and press off, or do I need to do anything? Or
No,
am I
I'll
good?
come back.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm getting that. So I'm gonna need winter report.
So there's we go to a spot in Florida just north of Daytona, Norman, Flagler Beach.
Yeah.
Probably go past that maybe. Yeah. And we like it because it's not too commercialized, and they have a great restaurant down there that my wife's friend bought a small little dive joint.
Hole in the
but-
wall place.
Yes, but it is incredible, so good. And you got to get there like, even on a weeknight, you got to get there by 5:30, or else you're gonna be waiting. But
Unless you know the owner, and then
unless you know that never helped us cut the line.
then you don't have to wait.
Exactly.
Just go in.
But it is so good. And I know there's a ton of spots like that in Florida, but we love that.
it's nice to know where they are, though.
That's right.
Yeah.
And ironically, when I go down there, I get a Cuban sandwich. People, my dad's like, what, you're not eating
Seriously?
fish?
Seriously?
Because I get kind of like seafooded out during the week, so. And they have a really good Cuban, like the best I've ever had. So.
That's like my in-laws. They used to live here, and they had their condo, and they like rent it out in the winter and stuff to Canadians. And then when they retired, they moved down there full time.
Yeah.
So they know all the local spots where they take us when we go down there, and
That's so much fun.
yeah.
So you're there the whole week pretty much?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's a good break, but don't take a break.
Is it north of Daytona?
I think she's in South Daytona, right?
South of Daytona, Daytona Beach, yeah. A little bit more residential.
Good to see you guys again. So we're doing a screen or a webcast for your teammate that's not here today, so that's why that's on. Looks like I think everybody's just going to go ahead and get started. If you guys have a student edition, volume 1, that's perfect. What the first thing I'm going to do is run you through the structure of a student edition. And so I made this handout for you here. This is a nice color handout, and it matches. It's color coded to like what your student work text looks like. Okay, so I'm going to have you guys turn to page 151. Now, 151, you're going to have a topic opener for topic 3, which is think strategies for addition within 20. Okay? So as you know, topic is a collection of lessons around a big idea, in this case, facts within 20 and strategies for deriving those. So on the first page of the topic, you get a math and science project that you're just going to have to read and determine if it's good and engaging and relevant. If it is, then use it. If it's not, then don't. But on your handout here, I've pointed out two things that you're only going to get online in this topic, in the beginning of the topic, that you're going to want to know about. Probably you've already dibbled into this. But you guys get an animated math story. K1 and 2 get this. It's an audio video book, and it's supposed to align with the big idea of the topic. It's engaging, it's cute, and it has math in it. And so that you have at the beginning of the topic. You also get a PDF of a little mini booklet that the kids can make and fill out the blanks while they go and take the booklet home with them. I'll show you where that is online in just a minute. The other thing you're going to get only online is the parent letter, the homeschool connection letter. That's available in English and Spanish. Unlike Ready, where it was in the book, you tear it out, it's not in this book, but you can post that in this learning or email it or whatever you want to do. You're not sending it home. Okay? All right, turn over to page 152. And you should have a review what you know. This is an optional readiness assessment. Okay, this reviews prerequisite skills that are necessary for support or progress or proficiency in this topic. So either stuff you've already taught or stuff that was taught in kindergarten. All right. So it's a readiness assessment. I want to point out in your handout, I put a star by this, and I also screenshotted an image of this little black rectangle. That's the RTI intervention. It's called the Math Diagnosis and Intervention System, so MDIS. The reason why I put it there on this handout is it's a indication to you that this review you know is aligned to that. So what do I mean by that? When you go to your teacher edition and you go to the exact same page, which would be 152, here's a review you know with the answer key, and it's going to have an RTI table like this. It's an item analysis. And this is saying if your child struggles in 1, 2, and 3, then you go to workbook B, and then worksheet 19, 20, 21 for filling the skill gap, remediation. If they struggle on number 4 or 5, you go to B, workbook B, but then worksheet 5 or 8. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute when you get online. The MBIS kit it's available in hard copy in these little black boxes, but we've asked that when they come out to the schools, they get distributed to SPED, support, EIP, those people first since they're not getting any hard copies. And then the leftovers will go to the team. But you're going to find, I think it's much easier to navigate those books online. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. All right, so going back to the handout. The next page should be purple with my vocabulary word cards. So you've got a set of vocabulary word cards. If new vocabulary is introduced, they'll have them right there for you. All right, flip it over to the next page, and you should see that they're green now. The green pages are your lessons and your teaching. So this is the first lesson of this topic. I'm going to ask that you fast forward, though. We're going to come back to the lessons in greater detail in a minute. Go to page 215. 215 should be an orange page, so when you hit an orange page in a topic, that's an indication you're done with the topic. You're at the end now, and these are all your end of topic resources. And they happen in this order. So you get a fluency practice sheet. It's usually a maze or a puzzle or something fun to practice the fluency standards with. If you turn that page over, 216 is going to be purple. That is vocabulary. Review. Notice they have a word list in the right-hand top corner. So there's some common vocabulary. The next set of pages are green. They're called reteaching. This is just a review of everything you taught in the topic. So set A is going to be like a review of lesson 1. Set B is equivalent to review of lesson 2. You get an example on the left, and then you get practice problems on the right. So it's kind of nice. And I do like the colors. Like it. Snap cubes in color. It's really visually appealing and everything. So that's just a review for the end of the topic. Notice on your handout, see I got the star there in the MDIS kit. So this will also have an MDIS alignment. So if you're reviewing and the students are still struggling, you can go to that RTI kit, all right? Or your support teachers can do that. The last bit of resources in every topic are red pages called assessment. You get a topic assessment, which is like kind of like our county unit assessments, multiple choice, constructed response, extended response. And if you turn that over, you're going to get an assessment, actually a couple pages, 225, you'll see a performance-based assessment, which is entirely open-ended. okay? The scoring guide for this and the answer key online, so, or in your teacher edition, so same page. So like, you literally just go to page 225 in your teacher edition, and that's where the answer key and the scoring guide are. So just if you want to know, it is very assessment heavy. This program gives you that version of the assessments that you see in your book. When you go online, they're going to give you a version 2, is what I call on your handout here. That's the same test, same number of items, same format, same DOK, same standard, it's just different questions. So like, that's good for like if you're reteaching certain standards throughout the year for kids that aren't getting it. You can use those for additional assessment items. And then lastly, they have what I call version 3, the topic assessment. That's an online interactive test that kids can take on Pearson Realize, submit it, get all the grades, sends you the data, and gives the kids the feedback, whether they're right or wrong. The only caveat is that there's no extended response size, it's only multiple choice and a little bit of constructed response. So it doesn't look exactly like this topic assessment because there's open-ended things in here. This auto-graded, so that's it. And all the all the assessments are aligned to that RTI kit as well. You'll see an item analysis in your teacher edition on those pages too. Okay? So that's it. That's how every topic is laid out. Are there any questions about that? All right. Let's go to the platform now. So now I'm going to say switch to this handout, the one that looks like the one they gave out at the training this summer, Hockey, if you were able to attend. Looks like this. It has the website that you'll go to right here, as well as our username and password. This is temporary, just for hopefully a couple more weeks. Pretty soon we'll have all the accounts set up for the teacher and the students. When the students go in, they click on it. They don't have to put a username and password in, they'll automatically sign in. Okay. So this handout here is it's an outline of the platform. So like when you get on the Pearson Realize, it can be a little bit confusing. The thing to know is you have 3 different levels at which you can navigate this program. So table of contents is the default level that they throw you into when you log in. And in order to see things down here, like the vocabulary word cards or the fluency practice sheet, you would have to drill down to a specific topic. Once you click on topic, it opens up all these resources. And then if you wanted to see some of the lesson resources, you'd have to pick an actual specific lesson. You click on it, and then it opens up all your lesson resources. The only thing that's a little tricky is that if I'm looking at a lesson resource like the Daily Spiral Review right here, I can see it, but I can't see these things at the same time. They're hidden, so I have to go back to the topic level if I want to get something at the topic level. So we're going to practice this now, okay, so it makes more sense. So if you have your computer up, you can follow along with me. We're going to go to PearsonRealize.com. You're welcome to just watch as well. Whatever works better for you. When you log in, Vision Math 2017 grade 1 right there. Is that football or something?
I think it's soccer ball.
Oh, soccer ball, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very funny.
All right. So, when you log in, this is really important. This green bar is telling you what level you are navigating at. So if you're ever lost, and you're like, where am I? Just scroll all the way up, and that green bar tells you you're at table of contents. So let me go back to the handout so you can see it. So right now I can only see these 7 things, okay? Let's go ahead and look at something. I want you to look at the MDIS kit, which is at the very bottom of the table of contents page. So we're going to scroll all the way down the bottom, and there it is, Math Diagnosis and Intervention System. Click on it. And remember on this review, you know it said if they really struggled on number 4, go to Workbook B, Worksheet 5. So we just go to Workbook B, right there. And then when the worksheets come up there in numeric order, I'll just go to Worksheet 5. So scroll down a little bit. And Worksheet 5 is here. And so this is stories about joining. And so you're like, what do I do here? Well, all the directions and the neighborhoods that you would need are right at the bottom of the worksheet. And this is your template and your little whole diagram or bar diagram. And there's a few more word problems. So this is supposed to remediate if the child misses number 4 on the readiness test, this is a way to go back and remediate that skill. All right, so I'm going to hit exit right here in the top left-hand corner to get out of this. And then when I get back to the platform, there's a chance you might be confused, like where am I? So the way to get back home, click on table of contents right there, and it'll take you back to the default landing page, table of contents. All right. So we're at table of contents. Now I'm going to ask that you go down to topic 3, because that's the lesson we're going to spotlight today's in that topic, and click on it. All right, see right here it says topic. So now I'm at the topic level of navigation. So I can only see these things right now on my sheet in the same order that they appear online. Let's go down and pick a lesson. Let's pick lesson 3-2 today, which is counting, I'm sorry, 3-4, which is doubles plus 1. So here we go, 3-4. All right, so now, it doesn't say lesson here, but this is an indication that I'm at the lesson level of navigation. It says 3-4, which means topic 3, lesson 4. I'm at the lowest level. I can't navigate any lower than this. And I can only see these things, lessons. I only see this stuff. Can't see the other stuff. I have to go back. So if I wanted to go and see, like I wanted to go back and get my reteach worksheet, well, probably won't have it. If you look at the work card or something at the topic level, I would have to hit this back button right here to go back to the topic level. So they're in topic. Okay? All right, so that's a quick overview of how to navigate the platform. I would say use this roadmap with you as much as you can early on until you develop like an intuitive understanding how things are laid out. Flip that handout over. I made this because I myself, after sitting through 12 trainings, was spending lots of time trying to find things. And so I was like, I know you guys don't have the time. So I put everything that's in the platform in alphabetical order. And so like, let's say you're looking for the homeschool connection letter. All right, just go to H, homeschool connection letter. And on this handout, it is showing you that the homeschool connection letter is checked. You get 1 per topic, not 1 per lesson. And it's also telling you that it is homeschool connection letter. You're getting it. It's a PDF, and this is the location. It's at the topic level in the teacher resource toolbar. So we got to go back. Let's try this. See if it works. In the platform, you can tell what level am I at now.
Topic.
I'm at topic, right? Yeah. If I wasn't, I would just go back. And this is the main toolbar. Teacher resource toolbar is this little one here. And there it is, right there. Homeschool connection letter. That's available in English and Spanish at the bottom. And it has a URL that you can also copy and paste.
Brian, can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Becky Ridings must have come in here earlier, and she already printed all of those for each topic for us in Spanish and English and gave me masters. So
That's awesome.
that's-
That's great. That's one thing, like, a lot of these things are, you can only find them at either the topic or the lesson level. So if you want to get them all in one place, that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
The sample kits that we gave out had a little book that said homeschool, it said teacher resource master book. And it had them all in there. That's probably what she did. I think she might have had a copy of that, or maybe she went online, I don't know. But,
You did it online.
okay, she did it online. Well, this little booklet that came in the sample kit, you could copy from that if you wanted as well. But it's wherever the sample kit is, that's the only thing. So. All right, so this is any PDF in this program. This is really important to know. If you want to download it, you just go right over here to this right-hand corner and hit download. It'll download. You can save it to your local drive or a flash drive or whatever. And I'll hit exit. All right, let's go to a lesson now. So I'm going to scroll down, go back to lesson 3-4. And did I tell you guys already? The lesson is on page 173. So go to 173. So we're going to take a closer look at what lesson looks like. I'm going to ask that you grab your color handout now and flip it over. That's where we'll spend the rest of our time. People ask me who's done the training, they said they learned a lot of information, but still weren't exactly clear on what a lesson looked like and how to navigate the platform. So that's what I'm going to do with you. The stuff here at the beginning, the top of the handout, is it's information on planning a unit. And so it's the same old backwards design model we've always used. And all I'm saying here is that, especially in kindergarten and first grade, more than any other grades in elementary school, you're probably going to find it a lot more productive, a lot more useful and engaging to supplement this program heavily with like Georgia Framework tasks, number talks, the centers that you're already using, and the ones that the resources we have in its learning. And so you're going to do a lot of supplementing in this program to make it fit your needs and keep kids engaged. The bottom here, though, is where it says focusing on a lesson plan. So let's talk about preparation first before we start with teaching. Since this is a brand new resource, my first bullet point there says, I recommend reading the entire lesson in Teacher Edition with all the suggestions first. So this is a new program and there's so much in it we don't know about. But from what I can tell, that stuff in here is really, really solid. So if you don't want to take your Teacher Edition home at night, or you don't have one, you just click on e-text, Teacher Edition e-text. It's going to ask you to open in a new window, and when I do that, it's going to open in a new window. The cool thing is it's going to take me straight to the lesson, so I don't have to fish around through the table of contents to find it. Here I am, doubles plus 1. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger by clicking the projector. So here's what's nice. They outline your objective of the lesson. I love the coherent section that tells you what they've done in previous lessons or in kindergarten that prepare them for this lesson. If you guys want a spiral review, this is your daily spiral. They give you a snapshot of that. So it's usually 3 questions. It reviews everything you've taught since the beginning of the year. Some kindergarten stuff too. Okay, so that's available for every lesson, so you get roughly 110 of those in the program. All right. That's another thing, though. If you wanted to print them all out, you'd have to go to every lesson, or you could go to that resource master and print it out as well. All right, and then I'm going to go through, turn the pages here. As you can see, lots of really good questioning strategies, lots of good ELL support, differentiation tips, possible student responses, mathematics practice standards, connections to questioning. There's just so much good stuff in here. So I recommend you read all this in its entirety, and after you do, you're going to have a good idea of what needs to be supplemented, what you will use and what you won't. At that point, I go back to your math home, and this is something I want to point out because Teacher Editions aren't Georgia versions, they're national, so there's no Georgia Standards of Excellence in there. So to get around that, on the curriculum map now, under Unit 2, you can just click on Topics 1, 2, and 3, take you to a Google Sheet. So this is telling you that if you're teaching Lesson 2-4, it's 1OA6. So you can easily just go to the curriculum map, hit 1OA6, and this will bring up your standards-based resource page, which of course will have your Make It Rigorous questions, your Georgia Framework, some of the tasks, centers, interactive game website, things that you could bring in to supplement not only the lesson, but the topic itself. Okay? So, just to review, those standards of excellence, the only place you're going to find them is right here, unless you have one of those Common Core sampler packs. Those will have the codes in the book. So there you go. So after you've done that, you've got a good idea of what you're going to use, what you're going to supplement. Remember, your number talks are down here, right on the curriculum map. Your number string lessons are here. So if you click here, it takes you to your lessons, which we took out of Sherry Parrish's book, and we have to put in flip chart form and PowerPoint form. If I scroll down, I added something new based on feedback from teachers. These are basically all of the kindergarten dot images, 10 frames, 5 frames, and records, like for the numbers 3 through 10, compiled on one master file, and all jumbled up. So let me show you.
I really like this.
You like that? Okay, good. I just thought it'd be nice to put them in random order. And a lot of teachers said that they wanted that. So you got like 170 of these, and as you can see, they're not all based on the same number. It's all switched up. And you guys might like these are Reckon Rex, got 100 of those. Sometimes this thing is concealed, sometimes it's not. You can always move that. But good for quick imaging and number talks. So just a supplementary resource to Envision. We recommend that you can do those 3 times a week at least. That'd be awesome for developing number sense and supervising and flexibility and all that stuff. All right, so you looked at your lesson plan and your teacher edition. You've kind of supplemented some things, pulled some things in from its learning. You've identified a number talk focus. Last thing that I recommend you do is in Pearson BLS platform for your lesson. There's a 2-minute video in here called Listen and Look For. This is not for kids, it's for you only. This is on-demand professional development at every lesson level, or at the level of every lesson. So you click on this, and this is going to give you a 2-minute sort of overview of primed you to teach the lesson.
The essential understanding of this lesson is, basic addition facts that are near doubles can be found using a related doubles fact. Students previously used doubles facts to add within 20. In this lesson, students use their knowledge of doubles facts to add facts that are doubles plus 1. This problem is key because students use a doubles fact to solve an addition situation. Then they consider how this fact can be used to add one more. Listen and look for students who use cubes to model 5 strawberries for each child. Then they count all of the cubes, starting with 1. And write the doubles fact 5 plus 5 is equal to 10 to represent their model. Then these students add 1 cube to the girls' basket to model 1 more strawberry. They count all of the cubes, starting with 1, and write the addition equation 5 plus 6 is equal to 11 to represent their model. This strategy does result in the correct solution. However, students' work could be more efficient if they used math they already know. Have students return to their original model of 5 strawberries for each child. Have students use a different color cube to model adding 1 more strawberry.
All right, so as you can see, they're priming you to teach this lesson, giving you like the essential understanding the kids should have at the end of the lesson, outlining prior knowledge they should bring to the lesson, but also giving you a range of strategies they may use to solve that opening problem, which you should see on whatever that is, 115 or sorry, 173. So in the workbook, that's the same exact problem they were spotlighting in this video. So watch that 2 minutes, and you are ready to teach this lesson. And now we scroll down into the platform a little bit, just past the Listen Look For video. Everything in the platform is laid out in the order that you teach it, except this thing here called Math Anytime. This is extra stuff that should be done either for morning work, homework, or possibly in the center, okay? Here's the spiral review right here. It's always going to be right here. It's called review. There it is. 3 questions. Spiral is your curriculum. And that's something called today's challenge.
What did you say was a spiral, sort of? Was that doubles, that review?
Yeah. It's always going to be the very first thing under Math Anytime. And I've put a lot of these notes in that handout that you'll see off to the side. Okay, so here's what it looks like in the platform. As you guys already know, every Envision lesson is segmented into 3 steps. Step 1 is called problem-based learning. It's an opening word problem to start your lesson. It's also called solve and share. This is all you need for step 1 digitally. And this will match what they have in their books. Step 2 is called visual learning and practice. It's going to give you a video animation. It's your mini lesson. And then the practice that the kids do. Everything you need is here. It matches what's in the workbook. Step 3 is your small group guided math centers. And it's all down here under the category of assess and differentiate. So everything you need for this center or for this section of the lesson, you have to get online. You cannot. It's not in the student books. So the centers, you would come here if you like them, and you would click here. And if you like this reteach worksheet, you need to print it out and make copies. Okay. But again, everything for step 1 and step 2 in the student workbook. Okay, so that's how it's laid out. Let's look at what teaching a lesson looks like. So I'm going to start right here. The beginning of the lesson always starts with math and context rather than math and isolation. It's always going to be a word problem to give to the kids suggested that they use manipulatives, either work in groups or in pairs, or you can have them work individually, it's really up to you, but I would strongly suggest making this very much a social sort of activity. This matches the problem you see on page, whatever it is, 172. Notice you don't need to make a flip chart because you have annotation tools, you've got math tools, like these grade 10 frames, and you've got, the wrong thing, sorry. Accidentally exited out of it, but you've got all these math tools that you can use. So the reason why it's called solve and share is because you're really supposed to give this problem to the kids, kind of step back, don't really do direct instruction here, let them solve it any way that they, with any strategy that they already have, possibly let them work in pairs, and then you let them share their thinking, kind of like a number talk. Like you pick 2, maybe 3 kids max to share how they solve the problem, right? So you're not really fixing misconceptions and errors here, you're really letting them do a lot of the talking. On your handout, in the flow chart here, under step 1, I have solve and share, and then in parentheses I have these 5 practices. Anticipate, monitor, select, sequence, and connect. These come out of NCTM. They published a book a couple years ago on how to get your kids to talk productively about mathematics. Because this is supposed to be a student discussion-rich section of the lesson, I just thought this was a natural connection. So here are the 5 practices. Number 1 is anticipate. You start by drawing on your experience teaching first grade or kindergarten or whatever, and you anticipate strategies and misconceptions that they'll have for this particular task. You've also watched the listen and look for video to help with that as well. Practice 2 is monitor. So primarily what you want to do is try to go around and see what every single kid or every pair of kids or every group is using as a strategy to solve this problem. Practice 3 is select. When you go around, it's your task not to fix misconceptions and get fixated on one child who's struggling. Let them engage in productive struggle. You want to, really what you want to do is pick 2 or 3 kids based on their strategies and say, I'm going to have you share. Practice 4 is sequence. Their recommendation in this book is have the first kid share who had the lowest level strategy, so in this case, the kid who counted all of the cubes from 1 and didn't see a connection. And then build up to the kid who maybe counted 5 and then counted on, or a child that maybe saw a doubles plus 1 strategy. Now, if none of that happened, there's a tool in here that's going to help you drive the discussion so that you don't have to say, today I'm going to teach you a strategy called doubles plus 1. I'll show you where that is in a moment. But the argument here is if you sequence their strategies in order from lowest, most accessible, easiest to understand, all the way up to the highest, most advanced, the one that uses the most number sense, they're going to be more likely to internalize and develop those strategies faster than if you went in just like a random order, right? And then the 5th practice is connect. So anytime you can ask them how their strategies are the same and how they're different, that's really going to help. Build connection. So here's the tool that I was talking about. If you click right here, tool to solve and share solution. What it does is it brings up a couple of work samples. It's too small, so I hit download, and then it comes up really quickly. Open up the PDF. And so I can zoom in here if I want to, but we can say, well, let's look at what Mike did. Okay? So again, this is helping you, instead of going into direct instruction mode, you can show a student work sample and ask the kids to reason about it. Here's another one. They always give you 2. This is what Kendall did. Okay, so what did Kendall do? And so you can really drive some good discussion about how these strategies are different or similar to the ones that your students are using. Okay? So, cool little tool right there in the right-hand corner, solve and share solution. Eventually where you want to be is you want to be the one where kids are out talking you in step 1, where the kids are driving this. Your mini lesson, your direct instruction is going to follow immediately after this first problem. So 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes max, but 10 minutes desirably. You go through this problem, and then you click right here. This is a really important shortcut so that you don't waste instructional time. Don't hit exit, don't hit back, click right here. This is everything in the lesson in order. All this is the beginning step that you don't really use. Solve and share is here. If you just click on the next link, it's going to take you to the next part of the lesson, which is step 2, visual learning. turn over to 173 so you can see the next problem. Or 174, sorry. So you're going to see the same problem at the top of 174.
You can use doubles plus one facts. Add. Is this a doubles fact? No, it is not a doubles fact.
I want to fast forward here.
Which addend is less, 6 or 7?
Select your answer.
So there's two auto stops here. The video is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I haven't seen one longer than that yet, so under 3 minutes. It suggested that you stop here and you let the kids think and respond and discuss. And this will turn into a 5-minute or more exercise, but this is your mini lesson. You can use this animation to drive it with the video and the audio, or you can do this yourself, but I like this because it builds in the suggested teacher questioning that's in the TE. So this is your mini lesson, and it matches that page in the workbook. It's always going to be followed by a formative assessment question called Do You Understand? So we've done the mini lesson, let's see which of the kids got it. And so here it is. How does knowing 7 plus 7 help you find 7 plus 8? So you can do this whole group, or if you decide it only needs to be a small group thing, you can do that as well. But this is the question that follows the visual animation. So here we are, we're 15 minutes into the second step, and you click here, and the last part of the second step is practice. And all you get is a color copy of what the kids have in their workbooks. Okay, a couple things I need to say. They give you some guided practice here. So we've already done this. This was the video animation. This was the formative assessment question. They give you guided practice. They give you plenty of independent practice, and then they give you word problems. The publisher was very candid in saying that they intentionally give you more problems than your kids can reasonably do. And so you have to purposefully select a sampling of problems for the kids to do. Either you tell them, give them choice and say, you need to pick 2 of these and pick 3 of these and 1 of these. Or what most teachers are finding most practical is when you go to your teacher edition, grab your teacher edition real quick, sorry. In your teacher edition, when you get to section 2 of any lesson, there's a visual right here, show that on the camera, there's 3 pink check marks, 1, 2, 3. That's the publisher's pick of what they consider to be a broad representative sampling of the practice problem. So a lot of teachers are telling me they're not doing this whole group, they're doing it in small groups, and they're asking kids to do these 3 problems, and they're rotating. And while the other kids are doing their centers, okay? So that's one thing you could do. You could certainly do this whole group where the kids are practicing and you're going around and monitoring and helping. But that's it. So together, just to review, step 2 was your visual learning animation, your formative assessment question called Do You Understand? And then your practice, which may only be 3 problems or 5 problems. That's up to 30 minutes, according to your teacher edition, 30 minutes. Okay? And then the last thing that you'll do is go on to step 3. In step 3, just a reminder, it's under the heading Assess and Differentiate. None of this is in the student book, okay? But the cool thing is, I'm going to grab this teacher edition one more time. In terms of planning purposes, this is how I see it working. I think this is so nice because everything that Pearson gives you pretty much is right here on these pages under step 3 in your teacher edition. So this is a quick look. You can look at the things they give you for the centers and you can say, okay, this is an intervention activity. Looks good, I'm going to use it. This is a reteach worksheet. You might say, you know what, I'm not sure I'm going to use that today because it's just more practice. Your on-level and advanced center, in this case, is a problem-solving reading activity. And that is right here in the platform. They give you a digital tools activity usually, and then your homework and answer key is right over here. So I would look here, because this is all they're giving you, and decide what you're going to use, what's good, and what you're not going to use. You can just go ahead and cut out and supplement with the things that you already got to use out of this learning. But in the platform, this is what it looks like. You get a little bit more in the platform. All right, saying right here, doubles quick check, doubles plus 1 quick check. This is an online quiz the kids can take. 5 questions, every lesson has one. The system auto grades it, gives you the data, sends the kids feedback. Everything's audio enabled,
What is the missing number?
okay?
6.
So that's a 5-question quiz that every lesson has. Quick check. The next thing is the reteach sheet. I was just showing you a snapshot of that. It's just more guided practice for remediation if kids are still struggling with the topic. In this case, they have a center game. This would be considered their on-level and advanced center. I think it's good for everybody. It's called Helping Hands. It is always going to be tiered, on-level, and advanced version of the game. So that's nice. You get a tiered version. And then at the very bottom here, if you ever see this tic-tac-toe kind of icon, that means it's a digital game from the game center. It's called Flying Cabinets in it. And it's a game to reinforce the topic.
Brian, how can we use those now? Like,
These?
yes. Is there, can we copy and paste that into
Yes,
this one?
it's not password protected yet.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
good.
And in fact, one of the things that you could do is if you go to tools right here, you can get all
All the first grade
the
games.
games that are at the game center. So you copy this URL and it'll take them to the first grade game center with all the games.
Awesome.
So, yep, good question.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, sorry, like, quick question. So like, you were talking about how, you're like, so you do, these 3 problems at your, with you, kind of like at your teacher-led center, and they'll be doing it. Like, I'm trying to make this work in my brain. So would they bring their workbook with them, or do you tear it out, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, with the little ones, it's probably going to be easy. I mean, you can have them bring it. They're going to need help finding the pages, of course. Now, the good thing about the first
Thankfully, it
grade,
goes in order.
it goes in order.
Yes.
So Jess is going to say it goes in order, so that's going to make it a little bit easier. I mean, with kindergarten, I was telling some of the teachers that if they got a room mom, that's something to put room mom on is, pull out the pages for the lessons for the week or whatever, because it can be time consuming.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, I was just trying to make that how it would be, so like, if you're rotating, it's like, okay, well, if this group's gotta go get their math book, then I'm the next center, you know what I mean?
Either that or you have their math books all at that center,
Okay.
like in a stack or something like that, I mean, I guess the math books could actually be anonymous.
That's what I was just gonna say, then I was like, then you just
Yeah,
pick
assign.
the next 5.
Yeah.
So like, here you go.
That would work. So that's everything. The only other thing you need to know is there's another look video. This is like those Ready Concord videos. It reviews the lesson. They're actually really nice, developmentally appropriate, engaging.
Welcome back. We're going to be working double stacks.
And that guy is really enthusiastic about that. All right. So anyway, that's the one that if you were to use your device and download the Bounce Pages app, I wrote it at the bottom of one of your handouts called Bounce Pages. The kids, if you send it home for homework, they could scan the homework and it brings up this tutorial video on the device. So if you wanted to use that, you could. It only works with the homework page. So homework and practice, you get a homework page for every lesson. You would have to send this home. Parents or the child could scan and bring it to the tutorial. So,
Do you wanna show them?
yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't scan a QR code, it just scans the image. So I just hold this over, right upside down, it shouldn't matter. I tap it, and it's doing like this, I don't know, Mission Impossible stuff. And then it says, hold it back because we can't read it. And so, I'll try it again.
Be still.
It says point back to see content. Now, I'm noticing with the lower grades it is a little bit more finicky, but I did something the other day, and the little blue rectangle will come up, and let's see, point back to see content, tap this. Yeah, so unfortunately I think it didn't work there, but usually it will. Other thing you can do is you don't have to link it, or you don't have to use the app. You can copy that link to that video and put it in its learning as well. It's just that the app makes it so easy to get to it when it works. So that's it. That's the third step. That's your center. Is to give you up to 30 minutes for that to do your centers as well.
That's good to, I feel like pacing wise then, we've kind of been doing it about like that. But except we thought we would get through the practice in that 30 minutes. But it's good to hear you say that kind of because just doing a couple within that 30 days
Definitely.
is not the whole thing.
Definitely, yeah. The other thing is with first grade, I don't know, I'm sure you're probably seeing the kids struggle in this first topic or whatever. We will definitely reevaluate the pacing and sequencing for next year, but I've heard from 3 different schools that the kids are struggling with the word problem situations and things. So, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We just can't get all the lessons done.
No,
You know
that's
what I mean?
okay.
Like, we've been trying to, we like skip one every now and then.
That's totally fine. So as long as you're skipping one purposefully, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's totally fine.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get these lessons in and framework and all that stuff. And it's just,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
a lot, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
We're gonna know a lot more after this